Mr. Dave here, doing our thing, trying to fix rocks that are made the wrong way. Rust spots, rusting out everywhere, rocks full of water. You can see if I turn the camera upside down, you can kind of see we got rebar fully exposed to the elements, and so it rusts out. And so we're having to really try to figure out how to, without having to redo the whole thing, get it going. You can see the water still seeping out of all these boulders. How much is not solid, we will find out. We break in a little bit at a time, hiking up, moving around. Pipe here to return the water as a drain from the spa, an overflow. This rock they filled up with rubble, and they didn't make it solid, they just filled it up with filler. It should have been, wherever the water is, should be solid, good concrete. Back in the holes we go. There it is. Really crazy. So you can see, folks, if you don't encase the rebar, which I'm always harping on, it doesn't last. It corrodes and craps out. So we're going to be throwing away the extra in here where it's not anywhere near the water. So this feature was built decades ago, and a lot of it I like. The big size bulk shapes of the rocks are pretty cool. The original builder wasn't afraid to make things big and little. Got big elements here, smaller ones, which is cool. Flat stones for walking. Transitioning across, there's a waterfall right here. Begins up here in that little pocket below that big rock. Notice the size and scope of these rocks and stones are pretty cool. They got variety, they look natural. The texture is a little formulaic. You can see the triangle thing. A lot of us guys doing this stuff will get a style going, and our goal is to not have a style, but have God's style. Let's make it look like God made him is the goal here. So the texture is wrinkled tinfoil or thick plastic. Very fast, very efficient, very easy. Really don't need a lot of training to do that. Super, super easy. But this whole project is collapsing and falling apart. Let's look right here. This piece I just pulled off with my fingertip. Like that. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. So you can see there's a little wall here that was created first, and then they put the rockwork above it, but they never made things solid where the water was going to be traversing and traveling. So all these big rocks are doing that, but they have lasted decades. This stone right here, for example, is still pretty integrated. It's pretty solid. The sides are though, although right on that edge there, are cracking, and that's what happens when you don't have the steel encased. It still can happen, but having the rebar encased and covered so the air can't get to it and the moisture causing it to crack up. So everything down in here was the same way, hollow, even below water. And even though this is not a lot of mud right here, so they didn't need to, they could have made them solid from the very beginning. Super easy. They made them hollow. They ended up being all rusted out, as some of you guys have seen in my other videos. So we chopped it all out. Everywhere we've got water, standing water, we've had to replace and demo all that stuff out. So the rocks are just hollow, and you can see in the light. All these things, if you don't put your rebar inside of encased in concrete, it will not survive over the time, the long term. Surprisingly, this has lasted decades, but it's all collapsing now. And so we are in the process of finishing the rebuild of everything. Look at all that. All rebar exposed to the air and moisture. And so we've been doing the new steel thing in, pegboard over it to be able to get it to be backfilled behind it. And we know we got good coverage. I put these in a little piece at a time. And there's jets here, so I like to try to push any rockwork back behind where someone's head would be. The original project had it coming out a lot more, so that doesn't make much sense to me. These are spots in the PebbleTech that we want to keep. We don't want to wreck the PebbleTech because that's all expensive material to have to be replacing. So we've gone ahead and filled in all these places that were rusted out and crapped out. We're going to pour concrete in here. We wrap the steel around. We drill holes and plug our steel down in. We cover the end of it that's exposed to the air with a bunch of paint, Rust-Oleum paint, that will give it some long-term preservation. you know, you can see with nothing, no protection at all, the rebar's still there, but it's starting to dwindle and it doesn't give any tensile strength to the rockwork itself. We have 3 sources, 1-inch feed lines for water. So there's a waterfall here, here, and here. And but these 2 I couldn't even see when I got here. They're completely plugged, and didn't even know that they were there. So interesting design here. But like I said, the bulk shapes are pretty cool. We'll walk around over here this way so I can see it. Daniel's here, my muscle machine. It does so much work, and I couldn't do this if I didn't have his help. Look at that. The side of this rock is gone, and we're using this one as a storage for the demo stuff we're not using as filler. And we're having to again redo stuff that is on the in the pool area below water. Look at all that decay and stuff. I wonder if I can, yeah, look at that. Unbelievable. So we did that rock over there yesterday, filled it up. We used some of the demo as filler. You can see that in those buckets. And we ground off the rusty stuff, painted the paint on it, and it does a great job. It means we don't have to carry around that much concrete all over Tarnation. We have to walk all the way around this beautiful big Tuscany type house out here in Southern California, North Rancho Bernardo. Beautiful residence, tons of this beautiful terraced steps and decking area, all quartzite. Quartzite's the best stuff to use. Extremely strong and hard. A lot of work to cut it up. The rest of this rock work also needs attention. Everything below the water line right there has got to be demoed out and removed, and new concrete has to go back in there, new rock work as it were. But we're going to thin it out and bring it in and then pull it up just at the last point before it comes out of water. So we'll still have that in and out design there for the rock work, which is going to be cool. But oh my gosh, talk about labor, a lot of work here. So we're working our way through. Again, this is the end of week number 2. And we're making progress, and we figure out how things are going to go and how they're going as far as strategy goes. So, what's going on? Mr. Dave here. And we're doing a little bit of a cream coat, structural coat with the pump grade mortar mix kind of thing. Yeah, so we're going to be putting that on. We have been doing a lot of work. This is a horizontal video. Remember that thing was rebar going every which way? Well, that's covered up with a mix of mortar and concrete, 4,000 psi. We've now filled in a lot of the stuff, concrete on top to lock in that global part of these rocks that is pretty strong, even though the rebar is exposed. And we have a really cool reflection off the giant window on the house. And the sun is going down, but we're going to be hand applying a nice mortar mix in here. That's that pump grade I like. Again, it's got fiberglass fibers in it. Really great for full rock texture coats. We really love it. You can see we're going to kind of do the same procedure over there where the where the waterfall stream starts, a 2-inch valve, if you can see it, or pipe there. Yeah, so you can see these rocks, they just collapse. You don't put your steel inside the concrete, or with these guys, they never even use concrete, they use mortar mix. So we're having to repair this whole thing. We've got the pool emptied out today, and we're going to leave that panel right there for the controller guy to come in and put a new controller in there. And so we now have the pool empty. Yay! All right, Mr. Dave, putting on coats. I never can talk on these videos. Anyway, we're putting on a cream coat to fill out and cover our rebar, which is kind of all around here being rebuilt because these rocks suck. They suck, they crack, and they fall apart. So now we're putting in this really nice creamy stuff, and so we're putting this on top of the rock so that it hides all the chicken wire. Oh, and you don't want to get it in your eyes, but oh, there's a big one. Okay, once we get it in there, then you can start to smooth it out. Oh, we like it. We like it so smooth. Oh, fell out. Get in there, dog. All right, that's what we're doing. We're having so much fun today. Okay, have a good day no matter what. All right, Mr. Dave here. We are on this big remodel. We've been hitting it for about a month now, 4 weeks, and moving our way slowly through the process of rebuilding and recreating that which needs to be reborn again when it comes to the rock kind of concept. Remember, all this stuff here was all full of bubbles and hollow ponds of mucky, rusty water, so that's all been replaced. We are at over 7,000 pounds of concrete brought in and filled in everywhere, pretty much where the bubbles and stuff. So we're working our way through getting and putting a dent in this project. Taping, masking off all the different areas of this pretty darn large pool. We're looking at an 8-foot deep pond pool. It's not a pond, Dave, it's a pool. But it's supposed to look kind of like a pond with natural rock features all the way around. These are all solid, which is so awesome. So we're going to waterproof and then give them a texture coat, filling you in our process there. A little bit of a patch we're going to do over on that side. And so we will walk up our steps here and move our way to the spa section, which we have also been working on, as you guys have been following along on the process here. All these things have been filled in, rebuilt, as we were talking about. That's the last little section. We're going to put some cream coat in there to smooth it out, try to retain a little bit of the rocky shapes, but these rocks are pretty smooth in terms of big details. They've got that funny wrinkled plastic or tinfoil approach to making texture in rocks. We're getting down to smaller little elements, these little cracks and stuff. We're going to probably bust that out or grind it out and put some fresh concrete and mud there. Moving our way down, there's a stream that comes from up here down to the pool over there. And so it was jacked up, cracked up at here, as you guys saw in the other videos. Notice how we just got all that concrete on top of the rebar. So this is all grabbed and stitched together with brand new fresh rebar. All that stuff, the water course, everything has got solid, brand new, fresh, happy steel. This little section is still going to be finished up. I'm going to probably crack this open here. This is a big, giant, flat rock. Yeah, pretty cool. And the stream goes underneath it. And so I'm going to be working on opening that up just to see the status of the inside and finish out some of the steel work here to connect it to this little section to lock it all in. Pond stream's coming out okay. Again, that's all brand new, fresh concrete on top of the old. It was pretty solid when I tapped it, so that's not going anywhere. That's pretty cool and pretty awesome. We got this wrinkly plastic or tinfoil texture, very common. This contractor's used this. I've been rebuilding and repairing this guy's stuff for decades, and it's okay. Kind of gets the point across pretty fast and easy. But again, all these rocks are made hollow, which is okay if you encase your rebar. You got to encase your rebar, or it is a bad thing because it will collapse. So pond starts right here. We pounded out, demoed all that out, rebuilt all that, as the other videos attest. And we found these two little pond feed lines, which were buried under stuff. You couldn't even see them. This one I could kind of see. So we rebuilt all that. We put a cream coat over everything with lots of acrylic. Waterproofing is going to go on here, and then we're going to blow on our texture coat and use their little wrinkle technique just to match everything else. If you have a crack, you can continue it into your bulk structural coats of concrete, which is totally cool and doable. So this little area is going to be the starting pond, and then it goes this way downhill, obviously, and then runs underneath that nice big slab rock, which is cool, into the pool. And so we were going to keep going. What's going on, Mr. Dave here? We got her done. Yes, we did. We got her done. And we are wrapping up the hose. The client's hose is in the pool, getting filled up with water. So it's going to be up and running in no time, I'm sure. But let's take a little walk and see if we can get some shots, even though the sun is going down. Remember, all these things were cracking, falling apart. Sun's kind of interesting, reflecting off that big bay windows behind me. But all this stuff was just completely collapsing, rusting out. Tons of rebar concrete in there, 4,000 PSI, all dialed in nice. And so we fixed the steps where we needed to. Other areas were pretty good shape. So we just patched and cracked. We patched the cracks and stapled in a piece of rebar, then covered with concrete in most places. And some other places we used mortar mix, high strength mortar and that kind of thing. Texture coated everything, rebuilt everything in the pool that was not solid, and that includes new rebar. This pool is like 15, 20 feet this way, 12, 14 feet this way. So this is like 8 feet. We see the water in right now? That's 8 feet deep. It's insane. And this whole thing is like on a big slope. So they built this hill right out in the area. I'm sure there's big, huge keyway footings back on that side, down inside the faux rock boulders they put back in there though. So real rocks right here to look at. Always want to focus in on the real ones so you can see what real ones look like. So they did an okay job with the bulk shapes, textures. Now they didn't do the full-on 1-inch up size cracks and peel-aways and stuff. But the bulk shapes are pretty interesting, and they're not quite all the same, which is great. You can see that over here in this little section over on this lower deck area, which is pretty cool. Huge rocks the size of, you know, houses right around here in North RB, Rancho Bernardo here in San Diego County. So big giant pool, really cool colored, warm golden stone on the coping. Very, very nice. Acid washed the whole pool. Acid washed the deck here. Acid washed. Acid washed. Remember, these steps were just ridiculous, completely full of water, all solid. Some of them got pushed back, some lowered. Just try to make functional steps, and so most of those are going to be underwater. Little redirect with the water feature stream bed that goes under this boulder to kick it over into the water. So that's going to have water right there that's landing in. All rebar inside the outsides where needed. So came out cool, you guys. So always fun working on the rock pile. You can see the spa here's had a patch job with the Pebble Tech, so you can do that. You can patch pebble. Got to get the experts to do that stuff for sure. Not a rock guy, I say, although I have done that myself. Did that for a client in North San Diego, actually, a while back. And it works pretty good. Learned from my buddy Kirk with Poolscape Unlimited. Jamie's now running things, I think, with others, or his daughter. And she's awesome, so if you need stuff, go to poolscapeunlimited.com, I think it is. And Gardner Pool Plastering has also been super helpful. So if you ever need some guys to help you with your pool replastering, give them a call, because they're the bomb. So anyway, Mr. Dave here, getting ready to put it in the car and drive home and rest for a week, maybe two. All right, so davehenderson.podia.com to get the stuff that will teach you how to do this stuff. Free downloads, no problem. A lot of free downloads. You can get those, plus courses to show you the detailed parts down to the itty bitty pieces of rebar, pegboard, chicken wire, to make these things. Pretty amazing. All different prices on the courses and stuff. A lot of free stuff too. YouTube channel, which you, if you're watching it on this one, already has over 1,400 videos, I think, and full projects. Look at the playlist. Go to the playlist. It's got cool projects from start to finish, the whole process on videos. Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of faux rock work projects that I've done over decades. Even sand sculptures going back 30 years. So yes, that's where I started. I made sand sculptures for a living after being a dental technologist, making crowns and bridge. Yeah, gold crowns and porcelain crowns. So anyway, also remember, Jesus is coming back, so you want to get him in your heart. He cleans you up. That's the way the story works, you know. We got to be able to get tidied up, cleaned up, and his perfection is a wonderful gift he can give us, and you can hang out in heaven forever, and it's going to be so cool. So remember, davehenderson.podia.com for free downloads. And the last thing is, always be forgiving and grateful. If you're grateful and forgiving, you will have a happy life, as a fly tries to enter my nostril. All right, have a good day no matter what. God bless you guys. Thanks for watching my channel. If you want to support me, buy a course or sign up as a Rockin' member, $10 a month. Keep me going. Every little bit helps. I really appreciate it. So, all right, thanks for watching my videos as I spin out of control. Have a good one. Bye. Woo!